What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're having a great one today, as always. So I just finished unboxing the ElephantToys Spider Girl. The video is 22 minutes, and nobody wants to sit through 22 minutes of this thing. Um, I hate this. I wish that I loved it. There's some things that I really do like about it, but man, oh man, this to me was a horrible disappointment on many, many levels, which is why it took me so dang long to unbox. Now, I don't know if ElephantToys has actually done other stuff, but I'm a huge Spider Gwen fan, and when I saw they were doing this kind of tactical Spider Gwen figure, I thought to myself, that's super cool. It comes with a bunch of fun little gear and guns that I love. I gotta get it. It just looked super neat to me. I feel like it probably doesn't appeal to everybody, but for me, it was a knock out of the park. Now, unfortunately, this figure failed on a lot of levels. It succeeded on quite a few, but whew, oh boy. So we're going to go ahead and kind of go over everything somewhat quickly. I will show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I guess we'll start by getting her out of here. Now, one thing I was kind of happy with, other than that hair, for the most part, other than these random straps here, it is just a decent Spider Gwen figure. Now, the initial problem I had with it, one of her feet fell off, so putting it back on has kind of made the bottom pant leg a little scrunchy. Also, underneath her suit, she has a plastic wrapping that goes around her entire body. And to get that off, I am going to have to fully take off her costume, peel it off, put the costume back on. I'm just going to leave it on because I don't want to deal with that. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, it would prevent any dyeing from, the colors of either the pink or the black kind of stain in the body. So kind of good there. I don't know what they were thinking with that sort of curvature there. They gave her a very weird butt shape, but that's all right. The head sculpt, other than the hair, I actually really like. I think they did a good job of getting Gwen's likeness, which is cool. They even, if you can kind of see it, got the piercing in the eyebrow, which I thought was fun. The hair, obviously, it's I prefer sculpted so it doesn't get all wild and crazy, but they did do a pretty good job with it. The hood is wired. You can play around with it. It fits decently. Mess up her hair a little bit, but that's okay. The whole top part is wired, so you can get it to fit pretty well. Obviously, it goes up a lot further. Maybe. Now you can see why I struggled with the initial unboxing, but you can move it around quite a bit. I don't want to spend too much time on that because there are so many other issues with this figure that, trying to make the hood look just right is a pain. It can be done, but it's a pain. I don't really want to continue sitting here and petting her, so we're going to stop. Articulation is pretty decent for the most part. The suit does give a little bit of restriction in the arms, which is kind of odd. That might also be from the plastic underneath it. I am not 100% sure. It does also result in her joints being pretty stiff, which is not a terrible thing. She is, for the most part, seamless, although there's definitely a seam at the waist, and whatever's going on with that thing. But then her legs, they're seamless. Again, they got the plastic on the inside, these weird straps. And a pretty decent suit for the most part. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't like the little knee straps, but not awful. So the thing is, here's where it gets a little wild. So as you can see, she's like that, got the hood, the light up face. So there's no instructions or anything of the like. So you're just going to have to kind of figure it out. So she does have this cool little jacket. Easy to figure out, right? Not too hard. It's Gore-Tex. Any of my Seinfeld fans can have a little George Costanza nostalgia right there. Pretty dang cool. I honestly think it's neat. I might kit bash it onto somebody else if I don't end up putting it on her. Then you get a whole lot of straps. All of these are really cool. They've got fun little writing on them. They're really well decorated. But there's no real clear indication as to where or how they go. So I'm basically going to have to kind of cross-reference pictures of the figure online to figure out how to put these fellers on. I don't want to flip the box over, but the back of the box doesn't actually show anything either. It's just the artist information and stuff. So it's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare. But, you know. No real clue. It's going to be a chore, to say that much. Now, you do get this cool cyberpunk little base thing with a generic crotch grabber. It's the parallel universe, not the Spider-Verse. Don't be confused. You know, nothing special there. It's a standard crotch grabber. You also get these little things. So these are going to be pouches to hold the magazines for, the extra mags for guns. But again, I'm not entirely sure where they're going to clip onto. I don't think it'll be hard to figure it out. It's just going to be kind of a nuisance. And then you get a whole bunch of extra hands, which we'll just take a quick look at one. I actually really like the hands. Not that that's saying much, but they did a pretty good job of painting them up. I like the pink on the underside. They're decent. Definitely not the worst thing in the world. All things considered, like, if you were to just get this as a Spider Gwen figure with random accessories, you're probably going to be disappointed in a lot of ways. Because, man, oh man, we're getting to the good stuff. I'm just honestly kind of bummed out. So the guns are awesome. So she comes with two little MP7s. They do have, you can see the bullets there. Load up the mags. Not sure if you could see it too well, but they got a cool little spider symbol there. And another one up there. And then they've got some weird little writing there. But they went all out with it. You can move the little foregrip there. Extend the stock. Really good job with this. So I was pretty happy. You can also take the suppressor off if you wanted. And then it does come with an optical. So you can pull out, maybe if I can get to it. I'll grab this guy. You can just kind of slide this fella down. It's a little tricky, so one moment. You basically slide it on the rail. And then eventually, in theory, maybe, and again, you can see why this took so dang long. So eventually you get it to the point where it'll just kind of snap under, you get that little lip thing there, just kind of snaps under that, and that'll lift up and hold it into place. I'm not going to do that because it makes for easier storage to just pull the optic off and all of that good stuff. But I was pretty happy with the guns. They're pretty dang cool. All things considered, they get a thumbs up in my mind for that. Here's where my biggest problem came in, and this is why I genuinely hate this figure. So this is the alternate head. It's supposed to have light up eyes. You get a battery. The way that I think you are supposed to get to the battery is by pulling out this neck peg, which is just kind of floating around in there. And I don't know if I'll be able to rattle it to where you can see it, but there's, the light and the power connection and everything is on the other side of it. So I somehow need to get that out, then put that battery in, then push this back into place. I don't know if that's just going to automatically turn on the eyeballs or what. I have no idea. I have not been able to get this out as of yet. I don't really know a good way of doing it. I thought, if you look there, it looks like this is a seam that you'd be able to, take the bottom part off. That's kind of what my thought was. I was trying to yank at it, and I don't know if you could see it, but I nicked his nose right there. Her nose. So yeah, this was just a very depressing head sculpt, to say the least. The other problem with this fella is, assuming you do get it on her, she doesn't have any covering for her neck. I know you can buy ones for the Spider-Man figures that solve that problem, but I don't know if they make one for Spider-Girl, Spider Gwen. So you're gonna have this weird sort of mask with a visible neck, and it looks very strange. The bigger problem is that. And I tried getting it to where I put the ball joint to the neck in there to see if I could connect it and pull it out. But I'm pretty sure doing that just smashes it up against whatever light and electronic stuff is in the top piece of the head. So this thing is, in a lot of ways, useless to me. I'm going to try and figure out a way to salvage it. I might have to just break it open and glue it back to place, and then repaint it, which is a nightmare. So for this alone, I was very, very bummed out. I do really like the Gwen head sculpt, and that'll be staying on her, but for the most part, this figure was a pretty big failure for me. And look at that, 11 minutes. So we managed to cover it in half the time of unboxing her. Honestly, if you get one, just be careful with this head. Good luck, I guess. I'm going to play around a whole bunch with those straps to try and get all of these things the way they should be. But even that's going to be a pretty big nightmare that I'm not looking forward to. That'll do it for this one.